Hello, hello, good afternoon everybody. This is Pip here from queenpipcards.com with my Moody Monday Pick Me Up video. Today we are looking at painted glass and Petal Promenade. But I'm also giving you a little short sneak peek, possibly, of some of the other cards behind there. I'll get to those later from my launch event. So this is the one I want to talk to you about at the moment. This was one of the cards that we did at retreat. It was again in my Sunday afternoon wind down session. I hope all of you have been watching my blogs and videos last week and really kind of got the feeling from me that crafting is a great way to wind down and chill out and just enjoy life and not do too much. Oh, my hands are going really strange colours. Oh, that's really odd. Hi Carol, nice for you to join us. Thank you for joining. So yeah, today I'm sharing with you yet another one of the cards that we made at retreat. You're going to get to see pretty much all of them at the end of the day, but you obviously don't get to have the experience of being there, and I think the experience is what I really want to talk about over the last week or so. That's what I've been chatting about, just in how much crafting really does sort of chill you out and cheer you up. But today we are talking painted glass. Yeah, it does look like I have a skin complaint, and now I'm like really, I don't know what's going on here. Oh, I kind of give up with my lighting. I'm going to switch that one off because whoops, I don't think that's helping at all. So we'll switch that off. It looks slightly better. Right, okay. It's probably because I've zoomed in so that you can see everything better. Right, so this is the set that we're looking at today. This is called Painted Glass. As you can see, it's got all these sentiments down the side here. It's got this beautiful stained glass window, which actually we didn't use at all when we did our craft retreat. I showed some examples of that, but we didn't actually use that at all. But we did use all of these others. Hello everybody. Hi Sheila. Hi Jenny. Nice for you to join me today. I'm bewailing the fact that my hands look a bit strange in the cameras today. But the rest of it kind of looks okay. So hopefully you can at least see what we are doing, and we'll go from there. Right, okay, so as I was saying, this is the painted glass set that we're using, and it has these beautiful sayings down the side of it, but it also has this fabulous images of a butterfly, a rose, and a little cute robin, which I really like. So we're using that, but we're also using, those colours are atrocious. I don't know if it's any better there or not, but anyway, we're also using this, which is the Petal Promenade paper pack, whoops, which I've chopped up, as you can see. So no, I haven't actually got much here apart from lots and lots of chopped up pieces. Here we go. So I'm going to show you, I think I might have all the sheets. I might not have all the sheets, but we'll give it a try. This is my pack that obviously I've used for retreat. Oh, that's another one. That's a different one. Yeah, there we go. Got two of those. Another one of those. So you get two of everything, which is, you know, normal, but it is counted as a speciality pack. And that's because of these frames that are in it. And it's looking horrendously pink. I mean blue, sorry. Yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5, then 6. I think that's everything. Yeah. So 6 different, let's just get rid of all that other rubbish underneath there. So you get 6 different sheets, and honestly, you can't see the beautiful colours of this because it's all going blue. It's really pinky. I'm trying to work out if I turn that off. Can you see that better? No, it's just now very dark. Okay, so let's put that back on. It's my outside window that's the problem. Then I haven't got a shutter up. Must get Sean to do that, but he's doing things like repointing the patio and all that kind of stuff. So if I take that off, that's a little bit better. So there you go. So pretty pinks, gorgeous pinks and greens, cabbages, which apparently are a thing. And then more beautiful flowers, and you know, everyone knows what to do with the flowery bits, but it's these frame bits that get people confused as to what to do with them. And to be honest, it confused me a little bit as well to start off with, until I kind of worked out what I wanted to do. You know, the flowers are easily chopped up into pieces and looking lovely. Let's get all this out of the way. But these ones are a bit strange. So these I actually cut these little flowers out and used them for decoration on some things. But these ones I decided to try and do something different. And you can really see, sorry, how blue that is. And I can assure you it's not blue. Maybe if I bring that on top it will help. No, we're still very, very blue. So yes, it's not blue. It's a beautiful, pretty pink colour. This here is made from one of these panels here. So you can see that with a bit of judicious cutting, you can chop this up and make at least 3 cards out of this. I'll just turn the other one off. I think it's better to just go blue. And then this one here, you get 2 of each. So you could do 6 cards out of that, but they'd be obviously they'd be some smaller, what's the word I'm looking for, square. So, you know, 3 by 3, something like that. That would be what they are. Let's try that. That's a little bit more realistic in terms of what it looks like to me. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of cutting. I'm going to show you how you cut this piece up, because obviously it's got all these different shapes and sizes on it. So we're going to bring in my trimmer, which is sadly going, and we're going to just chop off, first of all, this long piece on the side here. And if you chop that piece off like that, first of all, you get a nice strip that you can use as border. You could put it around a treat cup, you know, all that kind of stuff. And the back of these papers is beautiful too. Look, it looks like gold or copper foiling. Isn't that clever? Looks lovely. So anyway, so that's that. And then what you're going to do then is you're going to chop these pieces like so. Now, you don't actually have to have them perfectly chopped, if you see what I mean, as in a particular sizing, because you're going to hide them behind the frames that I'm going to show you how to make. So literally you can just chop them like that, okay, and they should hide themselves well. So next what you're going to need is a base, and I actually used Petal Pink in this base card here, but today I'm using powder pink because actually these flowers work well with both. So I thought, well, I'm going to use my outgoing colours. Why not? Why not? Because I like them and they're beautiful. Now, you can't actually get any of these in colours at the moment because they've gone. They've all sold out. I'm not sure if the cardstock's sold out, but definitely the ink has gone. Hey, Jenny. Hi. Thanks for watching. But I know that quite a lot of you have got these colours at home, so I thought, well, I'm going to show you. And you could always use a different colour. You could make a different, you could make a Whisper White card base, and you could pop on these cards and use Mossy Meadow, for example, as your frame, because there's definitely Mossy Meadow in there. You could even use Highland Heather, I think, because these roses here are particularly purple. Honest. Honest they are. Right, so you can see that they don't fit our cards, and that's I think that's deliberate. They don't fit the American sizes either, I've worked out. So that's okay, but what you need to do is you need to make sure that when you glue them down, you glue them so that the roses are central to the card. So make sure that that's even on each side. So using my glue, we're going to just warp those on. Hopefully everybody's understanding what I'm doing so far. Have I picked up my wrong glue? Okay. Oh, I've used this one out. I was using it all yesterday. Hold on. I think I've got a gluey end. Nobody wants a gluey end. If yours ever gets like this, you just take the end off. Take the sticky bit off. And hopefully, there we go. It'll start to come out again. It just gets itself, especially if I've left it open and not maybe closed my lid as often as I should have done. Oops, it gets a bit gluey. That's something off my trimmer, and then it gets a bit stuck. Right, there's no right or wrong way, upside down or otherwise. As I say, you just want to make sure that your roses are central. There we go. All right, so I'm going to make 3 of these because I can, and because if I made one, we'd only be here for 2 minutes. So, I'm going to make a couple. So just, you know, chill out for a bit. Hopefully you all had a good weekend, done some nice stuff. I spent my weekend designing and having fun playing with my new products for my catalogue launch, which I'll give you a sneak peek of in a bit. Actually, it's getting really full, so if you are a customer of mine and you do want to come to the catalogue launch, then I suggest you get in quick because it's filling up. We're going to be making 4 cards in the morning, 4 cards in the afternoon, and you can come to both if you want. The morning one's all occasions, the afternoon one's all about men. It's called All Aboard, and it's some men's cards. I think that's about central. There we go. So if you're interested in coming along to that, then go off, click on the Book Now button that you've got showing on screen, hopefully. Right, in the description, that's the word I'm looking for. So now we've got those attached. Let's put that away. In my little box of tricks here, I have pre-cut, and if you want to cut these out exactly to the edges, then they end up looking like this, which in themselves is quite beautiful, and you could just then layer that on top of a card without any layers underneath, so that would work. Okay, but what I've done is I've cut out my frames. So this is using the rectangle dies on a piece of fresh fig which has been cut down to 10 by 14.4, so it's my normal size. Then you get the second rectangle in and make sure that it's straight. When you put it through the Big Shot, I recommend that you turn it sideways so that this corner is the first thing that goes through the Big Shot, and that helps to cut it out, because otherwise it's got to go through some fairly detailed chunky bits before it gets itself chopped. So now you see how well I've managed to cut out my frames and glue them down. Not too bad, that's all right. So you're going to now just literally glue those to the front. You could put them up on dimensionals, but I don't really see the point. Actually, do you know what I haven't done? I haven't done my stamping yet. I'll do that in a minute. So we're going to put these down. It'd be better to do my stamping actually afterwards. And I know this goes against all the things I've said to you before about stamp first and then put it together. But here, I feel like you need to see what the frame is actually going to look like in terms of where you're going to stamp. Because I can move that up a little bit. Do you know what I mean? You need to know what's central to the card, not necessarily what's central to the floral piece. It should be pretty close, but I forgot, basically. I'm going to be completely honest. I forgot to do the stamping first because, you know, that happens. Not going to be bothered about it. We're just going to stamp afterwards and hold our breath and make sure it's okay. It'll be fine. There we go. Who else has done that? I bet you've all done that at some point. Put something and thought, oh, I should have stamped that first. But then you stamp it and generally it's okay. Hopefully. You're all very quiet out there this morning, or this afternoon rather. I'm assuming you're eating your lunch while you're watching. So hit a thumbs up or something to let me know that you're still there. And I'm not talking to the ether. Right, here we go. Pop that on there. And apologies for all my lighting issues this morning. It seems like every day the light changes, and it probably does because, you know, it's coming in from the window. So one week I'll get it spot on, unlike this frame, which is definitely not spot on. But one week I'll get it spot on, and then the next week it'll be wrong again. And I don't know, I'm not a light expert. I don't really understand it, but there we go. Right, okay. So now we've got to that point. Yes. Now the next thing is really just to stamp them, and you can have them as birthday cards, but I'm actually going to turn them into thank you cards because I always have people to thank. So I'm going to turn these into thank you cards. Now, unfortunately, these are not the new cling mount, although they will be if you purchase them after the beginning of June, I think. Well, at some point when they've run out of the other stuff, you know, the clear mount. Let's have a look. So let's have a look. Carol says, lovely card, but what do you do if you don't have the rectangular framelets? Well, you could do them with, you could do them by hand. So you could cut out the centre of the fresh fig by hand, not literally by hand, but using your trimmer. So I can show you how you do that in a second. There we go. That's my thank you. Apart from that, really, you do need a big shot to do this. I mean, you can, as I say, you can do them by hand, but it is a bit of a faff. These ones were specifically designed to go with the rectangular framelets, I believe. They obviously knew they were coming. You could use the other ones, the smaller ones, with the square dies. If you had the square, either the layering squares or the stitched shapes framelets. But if you wanted to cut a piece of that out, let's have a look. I've got a piece. Oh, there goes my phone. Sorry about that. Right, so if I had a piece of cardstock, I would need to, the right size, so this is a 14.4, I would need to measure. So you need to measure in how much of a frame you kind of need. So it's about 1.5 centimetres by 1 centimetre by 1.5 by 1. Okay, so you would need to get your trimmer lined up, and you need to use the measurements that are on the trimmer on this bit here. See, on this slide rule there are actually lines on this slide rule here. So you'd have to take this piece out 1 centimetre because the top's 1 centimetre. Then you'd have to come in and put your cutting blade at 1.5 centimetres before you put it down. And then you'd go right the way down here until you were 1.5 centimetres in from this side, roughly. Then lift it, turn it, make this 1.5. Put your blade back where the line is, okay, come down. Oh, I've missed that a little bit, so I obviously went over a little bit, so let's go over a little bit. There we go. That's better. Come back down here to 1.5. No, 1 on this side, isn't it, on the little side. Turn it over here to 1. See what I mean? So you could cut it out like this, but it is a bit of a faff. And then you just roughly work out where you were. Oops. You could, if you can't get into all of the corners, then you can always just chop those off by using scissors. Okay, does that make sense? Hi Fiona, nice to see you here. So then, Carol, what you have is you have a frame. I haven't quite gone into the corners on each of these because I know sometimes you get an overlap, so it's better for me, I find, to go and do that final piece of cutting just with your scissors. If I can get into that corner piece. And if you can't, then you just, there we go, chop a corner off and go in that way. I think I'm nearly there. Just a little piece on here, turn it over, it's easier. So do you see how that's made? And then you've got your frame like that. So it doesn't have the stitching on it. It does look a faff. Yeah, it does look a little bit of a faff, and it's not quite the right size. It needs to be a little bit further in this way. But, you know, that's why the rectangle dies are out. The framelits are the cheating way, the easy way. We used to have to do this all the time before we had die cutting machines, or actually we used to get our old craft knives out and a metal ruler and do it by hand. So at least now we have the trimmer if you don't have a big shot, but if you do have a big shot, I sincerely recommend the rectangular framelits if you have this paper or anything similar. There are some frames coming out, there's some papers coming out in the new catalogue, which launches on the 4th of June, which do have panel pieces which are specifically designed for you to chop up and then put on your cards either underneath or on top of. I think they're more squares and ovals though, so you know, it's about building up a set of stuff that's a good base. For me, my circles, my squares, my ovals and my stitched rectangles, and I'm taking my hands away because they look awful. My stitched are the best ones for me to have, and they're just like what I count as my basics for stuff, and then all the other bits are just detail on top. But those ones allow me to do frames and layering and mats and adding stuff, and you know, outward frames and inward frames. So they're the ones that I would recommend. Okay, so now we've got our 3 cards which we've just done, and then I've got my original birthday card. You see here that we have a little embellishment here, and that is from the painted glass, obviously, and it's a little rose, but you could do butterflies or you could do roses, so I'm going to do one of each. Actually, maybe I'll add a robin in, shall I? Let's add a robin in. We haven't had a robin. So, and I'm going to show you a cheap way of doing these as well. Right, so you get your block, put one on one end, one on the other. These are going to have to be a little one separate. Oops, no, we're on the wrong way bit. A little one separately. There we go. And then you can ink up both at the same time. And if you put them a little bit closer together, you can also probably get 3 out of this. So as I say, this is powder pink, which has retired, I know, but I love it so much that I'm doing it anyway. There's my little robin. So we've got those. And then the good thing about doing 3 like this at once, as long as you leave a decent amount of space, oh, she's grabbing a big shot, is that you can run them through the big shot all at once. So we'll pop that up, whiz that out. Let's see, are we going to... The state of my plates, honestly. I need new ones. Right, so here are the framelit dies. These are the stained glass ones. So these are the ones that go with the painted glass stamp set, and you can see they've got all these beautiful frames. And then on the other side, you get this beautiful frame as well. And I'll be doing more with these this week in my video too, on Wednesday, over on the blog. Right. So now you have these, and because they're far enough away from each other, you can run them through together. Never put dies too close together when you're running them through, because all you'll do is run the risk of them hitting each other, buckling, and then damaging your dies or your big shot. So, you know, because there is movement when you put them through, so just make sure that you've left a reasonable gap. Plus, they don't cut so well. So if they're really close together, they won't cut. And then you just get frustrated and you start all over again, and it's all just very annoying. So just run them through with a gap in between. It's just a piece of cardstock, you know. It's not the end of the world that you have missed a few little bits out of that. Okay, so let's pop that back down. I love that I've got room to do this now in my... I haven't given you a tour yet, have I? I must do that now I'm tidy. Now I'm tidy, I can give you a tour. We'll do that another day when I can get my camera ready. Okay, so here we go. Here's the little pieces coming out. And before you ask, my magnetic plate is with my other big shot, so that's why I don't have my magnetic plate with me today. But a little bit of washi tape never hurts. Always helps. Pop those back. There we go. Alrighty. So then to finish, it's really difficult. To finish, we're just going to pop these up on a couple of dimensionals. well, one-dimensional to be honest, because we want this one to be able to move. So we'll stick that one up in the middle, and then this one might need. Right, the robin's going to need mini dimensionals, I think, because he's a little tiny. He's a little diddy one. There we go, like that. And then it's as simple as popping these up. So I know I didn't run these through the Big Shop, but hey, I made one by hand. So that's probably as slow as running them through the Big Shop. So you have seen these from start to finish. And look how quick and easy those are. Simple, huh? What do you think? You like? Say yes, Pip, I like. Thumbs up, hearts, whatever you fancy, hit the button. No, you don't like. Okay, fair enough. We don't have to like them, but I like them. And so there you go. That's those are my cards today. Oh, Fiona says she loves them. Love you, Fiona. Thank you. Hey, now they're coming. Oh, I didn't leave enough gaps. Sorry, guys. Obviously, we're on a real delay today. Okay, so so there you go. So that's those cards. Very simple. You can have a birthday. You could do it with. I mean, it would still be lovely with the rose, with deepest. If you used it with deepest sympathy, you could still do that. Have a beautiful day and a reason to celebrate as well. You could do it with that. Oh, they're all flying in now. Thank you. But you could use the reason to celebrate. You could do this card with every single one of the sentiments that's on here. And I think you would have a lovely card to send to somebody. Here you can tell just slightly, although I'm not sure. Oh yeah, a little bit in this light. This is powder pink. This is petal pink. It's much more orangey, more of a salmony colour. So this is the one we have staying with us, and this is the one that's going. But either way, I think they're lovely. So I hope that I have improved your mood on Monday morning or Monday lunchtime. Thanks, Jenny. And I'm just going to give you a quick flash, not of me, you'll be very pleased to know, but a quick flash of what I'm doing. 2 cards from the 2 classes, so 1 card from each class, should I say. So this is a very quick card that, oh, pretty, that's it. That's from See the World, okay, which is the morning class for my launch, and then oh, there we go, that's it. That's from my afternoon class, which is All Aboard, which is in the afternoon. Now you can come to both classes and you can get it for cheaper than if you come to them individually. So it's £25 for the morning, £25 for the afternoon, or it is £45 for both. Bring your own lunch, get a coupon off purchases in the new catalogue with both classes. So if you get both, then you get 2 coupons off the new catalogue. So I hope you'll come to my launch classes. I hope you've enjoyed that. This is probably the last we're going to be seeing of all my retreat stuff on my Moody morning, Monday Moody pick me up, Moody Monday pick me up videos. Oh dear, Carol, I'm glad you like this break in the day. That's good. I understood what you meant, even if you said live. I understood you meant love. I like this too, break in the Monday, just to, you know, do a bit of crafting and cheer everyone up. But next week it's a bank holiday again. So I won't be here next Monday. So have a lovely week, have a lovely 2 weeks, enjoy your bank holiday next week, and I will be back again. I think, is it the end of May, or is it? No, I'll be back again. It'll be the 3rd of June. Oh, it'll be the day before the catalogue launches. So expect some excitement that day. I will be sharing lots of stuff from the new catalogue on my next one. So yes, won't see you next week. I'll see you the week after. Back on the 3rd of June. Have fun this next couple of weeks, and I will see you then. Thanks for watching. Take care now, guys. Bye-bye.